everybody, thanks for watching. Now, in case it wasn't already obvious, we are posting 2 videos per week here in the month of December. Got big fantasy playoff games coming up, semifinals in most leagues. Hopefully you can find my ranks at harrisfootball.com. Helpful, that'll resolve some debates that you might have as far as who you're going to start in the semifinals. I thought maybe the most useful thing we could watch on film today would be that Ravens backfield, because between Kenneth Dixon and Gus Edwards, there are a couple of options, and the fact is, might be a problem, because there are a couple of options. Here's the backfield usage for the Ravens in Week 14 against the Chiefs. Overtime thriller. It did seem to me that in the second half, the Ravens were open to a change. Kenneth Dixon had scored a touchdown, had also had a really nice stout run that I'll show you in a second in the second quarter. In that second half and in overtime, the load was a little more split between those 2 bigger backs, who, if I'm honest, between Edwards and Dixon, I couldn't tell them apart unless I could see the uniform number when I was watching the tape. Once upon a time, as a rookie, Dixon looked like a potential pass catcher out of the backfield, but I include Ty Montgomery here not because he's a fantasy option, but to remind you, good chance that he's the one who's most involved in the passing game. This is the Dixon run that I was talking about, end of the first half. There wasn't a lot of wiggle in much of what Kenneth Dixon did last Sunday, but sturdiness and power. Well, last month I showed you Gus Edwards' film and talked about what he does best, and it's basically this, right? Be a strong human being with a squat, wide base, resist contact, keep going. And this is Edwards. Remember, Harris, number 35 is Edwards, number 30 is Dixon. Keep it straight. And again, it's not like neither one of these backs has never made a lateral move, right? But they're both 230 pounds, Edwards closer to 240. Neither came into the league with long speed. Dixon has bulked up a lot over these past couple of years. He was never a fast guy anyway. They are thumpers. I don't know, maybe Dixon has a little more wiggle to him?
No scooch. 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 No scooch. Now that's a scooch.
Yeah.
No scooch. Scooch. No scooch. You need a scooch.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about these Ravens runners, our question really is, whom should we value more highly for this Week 15, these playoff matchups? If you listen to my podcast, you heard me talk about ranking these guys. I think it was Wednesday's show. And I made mention of this play by Dixon. Lamar Jackson running around. It's remarkable. He's still on his feet. He finally flings it in the flat to Dixon. And I referred to this. One-handed catch. I don't know, maybe it's 2 hands, but he has to reach behind himself, turn his body. I think there, Dixon does show some nimble feet. And maybe I'm being uncharitable by calling Dixon just a power back, because there's a cut on this run. He jabs to the inside to avoid the defensive end and then spins a little. And for sure, power at the end there, it's a pretty good run. But let's also remind ourselves what a strong human being Gus Edwards is. This is back the week before. Standing in the hole and seeing that coming at you. That's what, 6'1", 240, like I said, and that plays against Tampa Bay this week. It plays every week. Edwards is a factor. And I could go back and forth and keep showing you plays from either one of them. I just don't think we're going to come up with a huge amount of difference from the way they're used and their skill sets. I don't think. Maybe Dixon's a slightly better receiver, but Montgomery's presence doesn't really help me elevate Dixon in PPR. Where I landed, I have Edwards 24 and Dixon 29 in that range, which means both are scary to use because I don't know how the usage is going to go against Tampa this week, and it might just be split, in which case that sort of rank is about right. If it were one guy with the Ravens offense really mashing, that offensive line playing really well, Lamar Jackson helping the running game a lot, if it were one guy, it'd be a top 15 running back, but it's not one guy. I think you can use either. I'm thinking of them more as flexes in deeper leagues. All right, let's look at the Week 15 point spread picks. If you're interested, of course, you can always pause the video and take a closer look at these picks. First losing slate last week since week 8, but 3-2 in the Super Contest and still cranking along pretty well. As always, the way I approach this is I try and come up with what I think the point spread should be and then compare it to what it is. And these lines are from the Westgate Super Contest. My widest differences between my point spreads and the Super Contest ones those are my Super Contest picks. So obviously here, marked by asterisk, I'm on board with Broncos Saturday, Cardinals as a big dog. I got Cowboys, Titans, and the Seahawks line, kind of a mystery to me. They're playing well. They pasted the Niners a couple weeks ago. I'm happy to be on Seattle, though I get it. I guess, giving 4.5 points on the road to a divisional rival is a lot. All right, let's wrap up the week in style and get you ready. I'll show you 5 more things that I saw on film that were either really good or really bad or really fun. Let's count them down from 5 to 1. All right, probably I'm just consoling myself as a footy pajama Patriots fan, but Tom Brady's touchdown throw to Cordero Patterson. Are there people out there doubting whether Brady's arm is still really good? I mean, never been one of the league's super elites' legendary arm strength, but that throw is a laser. And how far off the ground does it get? 8 feet? 10? And it travels 40 or 45 yards in the air? Tom Brady, good at football. As of my recording this, we don't know for sure that Matt Breida is out in Week 15, and therefore, rightly so, Jeff Wilson will get some lineup love if there's no Breida. He's been okay, but I wanted to show you this play near Denver's goal line and Jeff Wilson's cutback, or lack of a cutback. Why can't he get to a pretty gaping hole there as he runs to his right? Because he doesn't have the leg strength to stop himself. He has to pitter-patter his feet, and he has to decelerate, and now he's going slowly, and the defender that he should have been able to cut around stops him. Not saying don't use Jeff Wilson, saying I understand why he was undrafted and what could go wrong starting him. He's my RB22 this week. Okay, at number 3, if you'd like to see the exact moment things really went wrong for Matt Ryan in Week 14 against the Packers, I would say, yeah, this is it. 7-7, end of the first quarter, 3rd down in the red zone, and decide mid-throw, I don't want to throw it. And man, dome quarterback maybe? It was below freezing, it was cold. That is not trustable, dude. I do not trust you very much right now. Ryan is my QB 11 in a good matchup at home against Arizona. The Eagles are crashing and burning. We probably don't get Carson Wentz this week. They come to Los Angeles and maybe it gets ugly. I just wanted to let you know I was surprised by Josh Adams' first run of last week's overtime loss to the Cowboys. Really good stuff. From the initial lateral jump to make Jeff Heath miss, not lose speed on the cut. It's a nasty fake juke, I guess, to the outside and cut up to the inside to make Awuzie miss. Now, that's a little better than the Latavius Murray comparison that I've made. This run by itself makes me a little more interested in Josh Adams' future. The Eagle offense is a little scary for this week. He's my RB 28, I think, for this week. It might be rough, but that play is really good. And lastly, Saquon Barkley. And I'm not even going to show you the 78-yard touchdown run, which was absolutely amazing and great. I figured I'd just show you this one-handed catch. This kid, he's even better than advertised. An absolutely incredible player. People spend so much time worrying about situation before seasons start. I'll go ahead and say Barkley's situation with Eli Manning and that offensive line, not great, but he is a monster. And that's it. Let's get out there and win your fantasy semifinals. Try real hard, pick the best lineup you can, root real hard. Also be a little bit zen about it. Realize that you don't have control in the end. I wish in a single game basis you did have a ton of control, but you don't. And I liken a single week of fantasy football to a single hand of poker. I mean, you can bluff. You can be smart with your strategy. If you get dealt a 2-7, you just sort of have to deal with it. And if you get dealt a 2-7 this week, it's not going to go your way. Just try to realize that you don't have that much control and have fun. It's supposed to be fun. I hope you win. I hope you have fun. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.